Okay, let's go ahead and do another live stream. This time, I'm going to set a timer for myself because sometimes I go really long without even realizing it. So, set timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes and counting.
Thank you. All right, so now I know when I need to just stop, no matter where I'm at, and look at the answers. All right, so here we are, returning strings. Let's see what this one's about. Make a function that will return a greeting statement that uses an input. Your program should return hello name. How are you doing today? Okay, I've done something like this a couple times back, I think. Let's see. Make sure you type the exact thing I wrote, or the program may not execute properly. That's right. So I need the comma, I need the question mark, I need, so no typos allowed, in other words. Let's do this. Okay, so this is not a debugging one. I've been getting a lot of different challenges where I have to debug code that's already written. This one, I am actually just writing the function myself. So here we go. So what I'm gonna get is name, just some name. It doesn't talk about edge cases, so I assume that all the names are going to be in this form with a capital letter, etc. One of my previous challenges had unexpected capitalization, so I had to make sure the first letter was capitalized and the rest weren't. But this one, I guess, is a little more straightforward. So all I'm going to do is, what I'm going to return is going to be this string here, right? Copy paste. That's what all good programmers do. Copy paste. Of course, if I was whiteboarding, there'd be no copy paste. I'd have to write it by hand, of course. But here I have a little editor, so that's nice. So I don't just want to return hello bracket name. I want to return a little, okay, so I'm going to use these, what are these things called again? Little happy dash things. I know there's a name for all these things. Programming is a spoken language. You need to know what things are called so you can communicate clearly with other developers. Something apparently I still need to work on. Happy little dash thingies doesn't mean anything to anyone. Except my own brain. So, but there we go. I put them in there. Now I'm going to do... And then this syntax. What is this syntax called? I call it $ with curly braces, but I know there's an official name for that syntax because I've seen it before. And I think that's it, people. All right, so let's see if that does it. There we go. That was a pretty straightforward one. Some of them are easier than others, definitely. Strings, for the most part, are not too bad. Yep, this guy did the same thing. Oh, he even put a semicolon at the end. Good job. So did this person. See, they made this into arrow syntax here. Yep. Oh, and this one concatenated, so that's another way of doing it. And then, anyway, yeah, so that was pretty straightforward. Should we do it again? How much time do I have left? Like 5 minutes or something? We'll see. Let's do... I like easy ones. Oh, they make me feel so good. It's okay. I'll eventually get into the harder ones. I've already done all of those guys. All right, area or perimeter. You are given the length and width of a 4-sided polygon. Polygon can be a rectangle or a square. If it is a square, return its area. If it is a rectangle, return its perimeter. Okay? Right, so, okay, so in other words, if x equals y, I'll just call them x and y in my own mind. If x equals y, then it's a square, and I'm going to do x times y. And if x is not equal to y, then it's a whatever it's called, rectangle. Rectangle. And I'm going to do 2x plus 2y. I mean, 2 times x plus 2 times y. And that's going to return this. And then note, for the purposes of this kata, you will assume that it is a square if its length and width are equal. Otherwise, it's a rectangle. Isn't that what they said before? Just being very clear about things. Okay, so, hey, I got another easy one. Great! I might make my 10-minute time limit after all. Train. Oh, L and W. That makes sense instead of X and Y. Okay, L and W, length and width. Okay, so length and width. So what was I saying? So I'm going to check if they're equal. And if they are, I'm going to do one thing. And if they're not, I'm going to do another thing. So that's a basic if-else situation. So if L is equal to W, then I'm going to return, I'm just going to return, that's right, L times W. Okay. Else, I'm going to return. Now you don't technically need the else because, if the first condition is met, it's just going to return. And so anything afterwards is not even going to be run. But, when you're starting out, you learn if else. And it kind of makes sense logically. So it's kind of nice to have that in there just to know what's happening. I don't know why I put a 2 there. Oh yeah, because I was going to do 2 times L plus 2 times W. Now I'll put some parentheses around these just to avoid confusion as well. Just, I want this to happen first, and then I want this to happen, and then we're doing it. Okay, and I think that should do it, because I'm just returning a single number. This should return a single number. This should return a single number. So I will test. Hooray! Attempt. Oh man, this is fun when it's easy. You know what I'm thinking about? Okay, so let's submit it and see what other solutions there are. See if someone else has a more brilliant thing. Okay, so we got a ternary statement, I think it's called. Ternary. So is length equal to width? If it is, do this. If it's not, do this. There's just a different syntax for the same thing. Oh, and they did 2 times length plus width. Oh, yeah, that's another way to do it. Yeah, length plus width times 2. Yeah, there you go. This guy did the same thing, but just did arrow syntax here. Oh, this person made variables for area and perimeter. That's very nice to name things to avoid confusion. So if length equals width, area, return area, otherwise return the perimeter. So that's nice. Okay, so those are pretty straightforward. Now, doing these algorithms, I can see if I continue to do them and get more comfortable with them, that I will eventually go on to the harder ones without even feeling like they're harder ones. It's like when I was playing DDR, Dance Dance Revolution, and gradually I just got better and better. I didn't even try the harder ones right off the bat because they were way too hard. I just started with the easy ones, and eventually they were too easy, so I started to do harder ones. So it's like gradually improving. You might not even realize how good you're getting eventually, so I think I'll do that. I'll just gradually get better, and so that I'll start taking on harder ones without even realizing that they're harder ones, really, and eventually I'll just be awesome. So that was a couple of pretty simple ones. I'm kind of trying to do this every night, if you haven't noticed. So we'll probably be back again tomorrow night. But for now, what button do I push?